What up, y'all? It's your what am I saying? What? Huh? What? No, it's your boy Dave B. You're watching the Esoteric Hustler Academy, you know what I'm saying? Where we break down spiritual energies and astrology and all different kinds of things that go on behind the scenes in order we can create better career paths for ourselves and achieve success through unique means other than just trying to do whatever the fuck we can to survive. This is about thriving and shit like that. So that's what this channel is about. I know I switch up the intro every time, but to be honest with you, I just like to get to the point, you know what I'm saying? And this channel is about the business. And so, I like to just keep it consistent, but I got to do the intro to let people know, any newcomers, what the deal is, you know what I'm saying? But if you want more insight, of course, explore the channel and shit like that, or hit me up through email. But let's get to the point of the video. So this video is going to be real quick about, remember not to rush. Don't let these motherfuckers rush you. Don't. Remember not to rush, because see, as an entrepreneur, you already put your mind in a certain space. And I talked a little bit about this when I was talking about, being your own boss and things of that nature and what that actually means on a spiritual level, right? But this is something that is just a constant reminder. Like, this is going to be a real quick video because it's just reminding you, man, don't rush, man. The thing about people, when you'll start to realize when you work with other people, is that everybody is on their own timeline. So on one end, when you are creating partnerships, it's good to always keep and consider who it is like you're working with and how they go about their work, because everybody got different times where they can pop up and get to it, and then everybody has times where they need downtime, even if they don't know it is what they need. Like, you ever been in a group with somebody and it just seems like during certain times they go into a lull period where you don't really hear a lot from them. And, while of course communication is always key, especially in business, you know what I'm saying? We need to know what's going on and there needs to be a flow of conversation. But at the same time, not everybody is on the same timeline as you. Same type of time, right? Like whether somebody's on demon time or X, Y, and Z. And then also just time in general, like when they are actually able to do the work, and then, on one end, you have to have a certain discernment and just have the mind to realize that, you ain't shit either. So you can't necessarily expect everybody to get up and jump when you say jump, and vice versa. People don't need to be, not everybody going, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. You don't need to feel pressure to jump when someone else says jump, but there needs to be some kind of mutual agreement as far as just, or understanding, you know what I'm saying? Or understanding, I'll say, for the sake of just, keeping these words where they're supposed to be at. Understanding when you're dealing with other people and you're working within a group that, hey, not everybody is able to get up and go all the time. Sometimes you have to allow people time to come to their senses, to adjust their thoughts, to manage their everyday life, you know what I'm saying? And then you guys can get to some discussion. But ways to kind of mitigate this, I've been using mitigate a lot. I need to look up what it means and shit like that. But spiritual, I feel like I know what it means. But mitigate is in terms of just ways to deal, you know what I'm saying? Ways to deal and also come to some form of mutual agreement is really what I mean by mitigate. It readjust for a mutual agreement to get to a space in which y'all can basically have and then also when it comes to communication open, like effective communication is not just about telling somebody everything that you're doing. It's about allowing open lines for communication, aka you are the type of person who's able to be communicated to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might come off in a way to where people don't feel comfortable enough actually communicating what they truly want to communicate with you. And yeah, we all got to be ourselves. But see, if there's one thing Scorpio should teach your ass, is that not everything is meant to be said. Not everything is meant for the surface. And sometimes you be in certain situations with different individuals where you have to keep some information from them, or you're not connected, or y'all not on that level to where it makes sense to share certain information with other people. So, one thing about this message is all about building, also putting you in a mindset to build better business relationships and partnerships in general, because having a form, understanding or understanding with someone else may not be in a space to, it's like what you want to do. The most important thing is first of all, you have to have discernment as far as what you need, because everybody also has different needs. Some people don't need as much communication or direction than other people. Some people require direction, require some communication, require daily this, that, and the third. And if that's the case, if that's who you are, you need to make that known early You know what I'm saying? And then also, but at the same time, the world don't revolve around you. You need to respect who you're working with, because if you agree to go into a partnership with somebody, you have to allow them the space to get what they need out of the situation in order to contribute to what y'all building together. But at a base level, there should just be an overall agreement as to what y'all are doing, aka what y'all are creating, what y'all intend to build. And even if the timeline don't match up exactly, still enough communication around it to keep it alive. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the number one killer also of group projects, is when nobody is doing anything. And the thing about it is, it's a group project for a reason. There's a reason why teamwork makes the dream work, because teamwork making the dream work, it opens the door for all possibilities to exist, aka when one person is unable to actually show up, other people can then come in and balance out everything that needs to be balanced out in the time that they have energy. And then when they start to wane and it's time for them to kind of go to sleep on the project, somebody else can kind of usher in. And then, but throughout it all, it's an effective flow of communication and constantly building on the same concept, aka everybody's on the same page for the most part, because we still having a human experience. So not everything is going to be able to be as clean cut and beautiful as we would like to imagine it in an ideal world. You know what I'm saying? But there just needs to be open lines of communication and respect for other people's timelines, so keep that in mind. And that's why I say, don't let these people rush you, because they need to respect your timeline just as you respect theirs. And if they have a question, present that question. Also, not everything is for the whole group. There's certain situations and circumstances where things need to be addressed one-on-one, and allow that to be, because remember, the 7th house Libra aspect is all about one-on-one communication for the sake of, and then think about what the 7th house represents, which is harmony. In order for harmony to be had, sometimes you got to pull someone aside and have a one-on-one, not an Aquarian-like interaction where you kind of put somebody on blast, you know what I'm saying, in front of the whole organization. And now everyone has their individual perspective or 2 cents that either want to throw in or keep to themselves, but still in the back of their mind looking at the drama. And now you created different dynamics within a group that didn't need to be there if you respected somebody's space and you took them one-on-one. Because some conversations, see, that's the thing about air that we have to keep in mind, or all elements have modalities for a reason, because there's a time and place for every style of element, aka there's a time to be mutable water, there's a time to be fixed air, there's a time to be cardinal fire, there's a time to be cardinal earth, you know what I'm saying, it's so on and so forth. So it just comes down to, something to be aware of, especially on this channel, because we are the entrepreneurs. So, we are putting our minds together to be in a space to manage others and to balance out others and to put things together. You know what I'm saying? That's really what entrepreneurs do. They put things together. Just like same thing as a producer of a movie. You put things together, and you have to be able to recognize where different people are at. And then this helps you also understand how to better organize your community, your system, your brand. You know what I'm saying? As you develop and you scale your business up, and you be in different opportunity or different situations and circumstances where you have more people, I'm gonna say under you for the sake of the conversation. But of course, as far as how we building businesses these days, the new age way, look, we not doing no pyramid shit. We doing constellation shit where everybody got their role within this and we move as a unit, but there is no hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? We not going overdo or shroud ourselves in the mentality of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to get away from that and create something else that's a lot more suitable for, but of course, how you run your business is how you run your business. That's my personal thing. I'm creating a new, with my shit, I'm creating a new style of industry where it's not no pyramid. It's a constellation, you know what I'm saying? Where you see all these stars. No one of those stars necessarily feels like it's more important than the other. Of course, there's somebody who put y'all all together, and respect. Like I said, it's like a respect thing where you respect a person's space where they was at. If they're the person that brought y'all together, or they the person who, seems to have some ideas and really good ideas, that's great for them. You respect them in their space, but at the same time, you don't need to feel less about your space, nor do you feel like you need to compete with them. That's how teamwork truly makes the dream work. Not it's a hierarchy system and this is this, you know what I'm saying? You got to be subordinate. You got to, that's where you start to get into different power dynamics. But of course, Power dynamics is a natural thing that's going to happen whenever you have a group of individuals together interacting in a space. But it's about being spiritually mature enough to recognize that and to, balance things out where, you don't let that go to your head, or you don't let that become the reason why everything falls in on itself. You feel me? So that is what it is. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Don't let these people rush you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people rush you, but also, recognize that also people into a group, also sometimes it is necessary for that, because sometimes you do need a fire under your ass in order to get up and go, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when someone tries to like that, it's like it gets tricky, because somebody is trying to light a fire when it's like, bitch, I'm already hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm already doing things that you don't know about, because I got my own life too. And that's what we have to respect about each other, is that, or understand about everybody, is that we're all in different spaces. And the best thing we can do is come together and agree to build something and stay consistent with it, as far as allowing open lines of communication, being our true selves, and showing up when we can, and when we do show up, doing the best we can in that presence. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's just kind of talking about that. But don't let people rush you, because when you allow other people to rush you, right? Because it's a difference between acknowledging when someone is trying to light a fire under your ass, and then you having the proper maturity and self-realization and discernment to look at yourself and say, okay, yeah, you're right, I do need to get up and do this. But at the same time, make sure you still make that your own. Don't do that out of guilt. Don't do that out of shame, because you might take that energy and repackage it into a different kind of subconscious, or it could be, you might harbor on that shit, and it might become a certain resentment or a certain negativity you have towards another individual, where you create a perception in your own time about them being an enemy, when those type of dynamics kill an organization from the inside. So that's another thing about it too, because as we get more equated with this Aquarian energy, naturally, just with Saturn being in Aquarius and us being in that age, we're gonna be in more situations where we're gonna be in close proximity with other individuals, and that naturally is gonna cause a lot of rebellion and opposition. Naturally, just us being individuals sharing space for the first time, as we see with different soul group meetups and shit like that, different people coming together. Sometimes you don't quite know, you know what I'm saying? It gets tricky, because everyone is different. Everyone's going through their own thing. Everybody has their own history of events that they are putting together and stringing along and creating new ones with these new individuals. So, overall, eventually, we got to make sure that we're being honest with the people that we're working with, and that, you are able to recognize early on whether someone is even compatible, or it makes sense for them to be in your space. And if you truly don't resonate with somebody within the same space, it's okay for y'all to be in the same community, but recognize that, okay, y'all have some base differences, and that there might need to be space involved before y'all are able to get to an area where y'all can communicate and reach some kind of common ground and shit like that. But that's a whole different conversation and shit. But for the most part, I just wanted to speak on that real quick about, don't let people rush you, especially as the entrepreneur and shit like that. Respect what other people are trying to get at. Because a lot of times, a lot of these things, and this is where I do feel like business, there needs to be a form of empathy involved in business. As far as the people in your organization, there needs to be some level of understanding. A lot of times business is cutthroat and dry, of course, because it's earth element. But at the same time, just for the sake of better business and creating businesses that are more in alignment with, truth, and more in alignment with spiritual growth, on some level, because it's like, as a business, y'all are a unit, depending on the scale of business, because sometimes business is truly just business. Hey man, I'm just trying to sell these motherfucking cards so I can buy me a house. Like, sometimes it's not that deep, but I'm kind of, I've always been interested in building different kinds of bonds through business and shit like that, or utilizing business, or creating businesses that feel more like a family organization, where there's trust involved and there's a certain level of connection beyond what you're physically doing. Because I feel like that can enhance the experience of building with another individual. But that's, like I said, that's me personally, and to each his own. So much love, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.